So it's Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Rachel Ball, and delighted that you look so healthy as well after a well publicised or well covered battle with COVID, of course. Just tell us a little bit about that, because it was all set for the rematch with Shannon Courtenay, and then suddenly COVID turns your plans upside down.
Yeah, it does. It does. And I wear makeup every day to try and cover it all up. So we were meant to be fighting in February, and that got postponed until April. And, my coach and my manager, we said, well, if we're still not good by 8 weeks out, we're going to have to postpone it, and pull out the fight. So that's basically what we had to do. It's ongoing. I'm trying my best, but it is what it is.
When did you first come down with it? Was it back in January?
It's actually 3 months today.
Wow.
3 months today that I started. I woke up and I was just like, oh my God. I felt like I'd really overtrained. I thought, right, okay, let's have a rest day. And I started coughing when I took the dog outside before I went to bed. And I was like, okay, this isn't right. Yeah.
And then presumably you obviously took a test. How bad was it? Because I know Ellie Scottney, as an example, she had COVID and she said it had quite long-lasting effects even after she tested negative.
Yeah, so the day after I started, from 3 months today, the next day when I woke up, so I'd already booked my test for that day, I woke up and I was just like, oh my God, my head was pounding, it hurt to move my eyes, I was just dead feverish, and it was like an effort just to walk up the stairs, and I was thinking, because I've had my flu jab for the past 5 years with my job and everything, so I was thinking, this shouldn't be flu, because I haven't had the flu since having my jab, and I was like, this isn't right. So that was kind of it really. And then the next day the fever kind of went, and I was like, okay, I'm okay, the worst of it is over. And then the next day it was like, oh God, fatigue, and it's just kind of been up and down ever since really.
And how are you now, sitting here 3 months later? I mean, is it significantly better than you were before and just lingering a bit, or is it still quite bad?
I wish I could say, yeah, it's great and I'm feeling on the road to recovery, but it's just so up and down all the time. Like on Monday, I felt absolutely horrendous. I was in bed till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. This morning and today I felt a bit groggy, but I've been managing it with paracetamol. I'm okay now. It's just day by day is completely different. Like one time a day you can feel okay, the next you feel crap and horrendous. It's really difficult to predict. Really, really difficult.
Must be quite tough for you mentally as well, having to go through it. You're someone that's used to being active with your job and with training every day as well, and you've had to put a lot of that on the back burner at the moment for your health, which is understandable. But it must be tough for you from a mental perspective as well.
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty proud of myself in terms of my resilience. Initially, like I was really, really struggling with it, and I just literally couldn't even look at social media or anything to do with boxing, because it just made me like upset and stuff. So after I kind of came out, I was like, look, this is what's happening, this is what's going on. I've gave my head a wobble, and I'm just staying focused. And as crazy as it is, because I'm not in like a training camp or running around and just thinking boxing, like I forgot like how driven I actually am. Like when I'm sitting out in the house, I'm like, what can I do next? Even just thinking of things I can do, to try and push myself in other areas of my life, like work and that. I forgot how constantly driven forward I have to be, which is a good thing, and I'm glad I've kind of reminded myself of that, and know that I'm still in there despite what's going on really.
Apart from work, of course, which you do a vital job anyway, what other things have you been focusing on to channel that enthusiasm?
I've been just focused on doing something positive every day, whether it's seeing something nice when I take the dog a walk. I love taking my dog a walk every day. I've also done an online massage course, because it's not particularly like hard going, so I've been doing that. I've started writing, it's a bit crazy, I've started writing a book, It's not about me. I'm trying to write a book to explain to members of the public about adult social care and what happens when you become involved, and making future plans about lasting power of attorneys and stuff like that. Because I find that people don't know about the system until they hit a crisis point. And so I want to kind of put together kind of just a very short book just to explain like the basics, like mental capacity and stuff like that, really, just to help people and hopefully get people talking about their future plans and stuff. So yeah, I don't think many boxing people will be interested, like, but
well,
I found it interesting.
I'm sure they struggle with aspects of mental health just as people in every sector do, you know. So it sounds like a very useful, practical book.
Thank you. Well, yeah, work in progress, but yeah, hopefully I'll do that this year. Yeah.
Oh, we'll look forward to that. Obviously, the fight that you were going to have with Shannon Courtenay, Ebanie Bridges came in as a replacement opponent for Shannon, now for that vacant WBA bantamweight title. I know you're going to be watching it on Saturday night. You said earlier you might do an Instagram live, which I think is a great idea, by the way. Is it kind of bittersweet, do you think, kind of sitting there watching it, knowing it should have been you, but for circumstances got in the way and it's not, unfortunately?
Yeah, it is a bit bittersweet, but you know what? I'm not going to stand in the way of anyone else having an opportunity. I'm genuinely happy for both women, and I want the best woman to win. That's what I want. You know, it's going to be a good showcase for women's boxing, and I want to watch a good fight. I'm loving the build-up. I really am. I think it's funny, and you know, I've probably been joining in more on Twitter than I ever have done before, even around my own fights. You know, I think it's funny between the pair of them. So yeah, I'm still enjoying the build-up a lot. I really, really am, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. You know.
A lot of the build-up, aside from the stuff about underwear and that kind of thing, which we've all seen, has seemed to centre around you. There's been a lot of people saying, oh, we wish it was Rachel Ball fighting Shannon. Hopefully the winner fights Rachel, etc., etc. Has that offered a bit of kind of consolation for you, given everything that's happened, that people are still keen to see you back?
Yeah, I've been really surprised actually. The amount of people who are still tagging me and mentioning me and saying well it should be Rachel Ball in there, or the proper glad to see when Rachel can fight the winner and stuff like that. It's good to see that people are still including me and thinking about me. Definitely really, really appreciate that, and the fans have been really, really kind to me. So yeah, it's been quite overwhelming and surprising really how much people want me to get back in there, and I'm just really grateful for everyone's support really.
Has it been kind of talked about? I'm sure it must have at some point, that when you are fit and raring to go again, you will get the winner of that fight. It seems like a natural fight to make.
Yeah, I think Matchroom would like to schedule me in for July, so that does give me a fair few months. So I'm hoping we're going to get better, get back in the gym, be able to start hard training very soon. Cross fingers. So it'd be great if we can do it in July. That would be amazing. I'm hoping the fact that I'll have been out of the ring for 9 months won't affect me too much. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Throw me at the deep end. I can swim well.
You've already defeated one of them, so it will be a deep end given everything you've been through. But I imagine you'd be the favourite regardless of who comes out on top on Saturday night. But who will that be, in your view? We've obviously delayed that question long enough. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
See, this is why it's so difficult, because if you look and try and research about Ebanie and watch her previous fights, you've got like nothing to go on. Like there's like one fight against Crystal Hoy. I think that was the name. I can't find that fight that she's just had with Carol. Yeah, I haven't managed to find that. So I don't like to make assumptions or decisions when I haven't got the evidence for it. I have spoken to Ebanie. I spoke to her a few weeks ago, and I said, you need to watch that right hand. If it catches you, you're going to know about it. And I don't know how good Ebanie's chin is. I hope it's a very good chin, but I don't know how well she's going to take a punch off Shannon, because that right hand hits hard, Ebanie said to me, well, when you thought you've been out of the ring for quite a while, was it just ring rust and kind of like dazing you about the ring rust. And I was like, no, the girl hits hard. That you're gonna know about it if that right hand hits you. For me, when I was in there, I didn't find that any body shots problematic. It's just the right hand that it's been knocking some girls out, and I've got a half decent chin, so that's why I could stand up to it. So yeah, I have warned her about it, but yeah, it's going to be difficult. I think Bridges is going to try and put it on her. Shannon doesn't like to be under pressure, but she's kind of getting used to the fact that other fighters are just putting it on her all the time. I think if it goes to points, I think Shannon will get it. She's essentially the home fighter. She's fighting in her home. So I think if it goes to points, but strange things have happened. I beat the favourite, didn't I? So you never know. But I don't know. Do I see a knockout for either of them? I don't know. I don't know what Ebanie can do. I need to see what she's like in there. In a decent test. So it's going to be difficult. It's a really difficult call.
We'll come back maybe to you at the end of round 1 on Saturday and ask you.
Yeah, definitely. It's really hard to call. I think Ebanie's the one who's going to, decide which way this goes, really, because we haven't seen anything of her. Whereas Shannon's a little bit more predictable in her performances. We know what to expect from her, but Ebanie, I don't know. She's looking strong though on the pads. Some people said like, oh, she's slow and stuff like that. But when I've seen her on the bags and stuff and on the pads, she's looking strong. She's looking strong and quicker than people expect. So, yeah, she's looking very confident as well. Very confident, which intrigues me as well. Both girls are adamant that they're going to come out the winner. So, yeah, only Saturday night will tell.
Is the Shannon rematch a bigger fight for you than a fight with Ebanie, as you're both Brits and you've got the backstory of the first fight?
I was never that bothered about fighting Shannon again anyway, to be honest. I'm one of those people, I like to move forward, new people, new opponents, new challenges. So I would have liked to have fought Ebanie when we had the chance in November. And I think it'd be like it's like a good night out, and having a scrap with your mates and then having a little drink and celebrating afterwards, So yeah, I would have liked to have had that fight, and yeah, I'd love to have that fight again. But the demand is there for the Shannon fight as well.
So you're in a pretty good position. It might not feel like it over the last few months, but you now get to wait, see who comes out on top out of those guys. Hopefully, from your sake, they beat lumps out of each other, and then you get to take on the winner. Yeah,
I'm excited. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I think I'm going to get overexcited. I'm going to give myself a massive headache, and it'll all be worth it just to watch it. But I was thinking earlier, I was like, oh, please don't be like a first round stoppage, because I want to watch a full 10-rounder. From the get-go, just go for 2 minutes every round, just at it. I can't wait. I hope it goes like that.
Well, I think you've done a very good job of promoting it, especially considering you're not in the fight. So I'm sure Matchroom will be delighted.
Yeah, I'm enjoying being part of the build. It's nice to. The only nice bit is kind of I haven't got the pressure of I'm the one who's fighting. I can be like, oh, look what she said. Oh, look what she said. It's a good build. I think it's interesting. It's interesting to see how people are responding to both of the girls, with Ebanie's lingerie and Shannon's attitudes towards boxing. I think it's interesting to watch, I think.
Good stuff. Well, like I said, really good to see you looking so well. I know you might not feel it, but certainly from an observer's point of view, you seem to be doing a lot better than perhaps you were in January. So on the road to recovery.
Thank you. I'm trying my best. Honestly. So we'll wait and see.
All right, good stuff. Well, take care, Rachel, and yeah, enjoy the fight on Saturday night, as I'm sure we all will.
Oh, I will. Get me popcorn. Cheers, Danny.
Speak to you soon.
Bye. Bye.